Tyra Banks is in Dubai, and I am personally and professionally very excited. It's so lovely to have you here. You are, of course, TV personality, model, actress, mother, entrepreneur, and now we've got SMiZE and Dream here in Dubai, your ice cream brand that's launching at Brunch and Cake this weekend. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
From that very brief introduction, you've got an awful lot of hats on and plates spinning, so really do appreciate your time. Can I start with that?
Totally.
The spinning plates.
Because they're spinning right now.
Oh, man. And I'm always really careful to introduce people, parents, as mothers, because I feel like that's something that takes up so much of our time and our care and our attention and our emotions. And as a working mum myself, and I know a lot of people listening today will look at you and be like, oh my word, it's Tyra Banks. She's a mum and now she's launching this and she's in Dubai and she travels and she looks incredible. I guess the short question is how? How, Tyra?
Well, the working mom thing, my man and I, who's in the room here, hey, we live with my mom. So there's no way that I could do what I do without living with my mother. My mom makes breakfast every morning for the family. Probably 50% of the week she's cooking dinner. The other 50% we're ordering food. I mean, she's everything. She really supports our family. And I don't think I could have done this without her. And of course, my man.
Of course. Supportive
partner.
partner.
Super supportive. He's getting up and being the most amazing stepdad in the world. So
thank you for saying that, because I feel like whether people say it or not, or it's just a kind of perception people put out that they're doing it by themselves.
I'm not.
I'm not. I mean, I live really far from my mum, but we're lucky in Dubai that we can have help. And I feel like when you don't acknowledge the help and support around you, it does a disservice to you and the people that help you and people that look at you and think, well, if she can do it, why can't I?
Exactly. Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. You're so lucky to have your mum, my goodness.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Well, we're here, of course, to talk about entrepreneurship. And I find it so fascinating to think about people such as yourself who, discovered in your teens and working and earning and hustling hard. And to draw a parallel with like athletes, like NFL stars who are, really thrown in the spotlight and often a lot of money thrown at them at a really early age. And traditionally, these kind of quite short-lived careers,
yes.
Athletes, models.
Very similar because it's based on the physical. You age out.
Right?
Yes.
So then what? And you've got this kind of, this path, this fork in the road where you go, okay, who am I now? This identity. And what your kind of living proof is there's such longevity in a career if you've got passion and imagination and, an eye on the future, I guess. And that's not the case for everybody. And I wondered if you could kind of give us a little insight in terms of, for anyone that is a bit of a fork in their road or anyone who's thinking, who am I and what's next?
Yes.
How was it for you?
Well, I have something for people that are still in it, no matter what their job is, particularly if their job has some type of expiration date. And it doesn't always relate to age. There's just certain, jobs that it's just a contract or something. My mom always says, plan for the end at the beginning.
Oof.
So she used to tell me, we would be backstage at a fashion show and she would say, oh yeah, you're on the cover of everything right now. Everybody wants you. You're going to be the first to walk out on this runway today. But where was the model? And she would list certain names. Where are they this season? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, they're not getting hired this season. Their phone is ringing less. And one day that's going to be you. So she said, it is important to be in front of that. And she said, leave them before they leave you. And so that, first I thought it was cruel when she was saying this to me. I didn't understand why she was saying this. And now, of course, I totally get it because she made sure that I had a plan. So I walked away from a Victoria's Secret contract that was on a table for many years because I think it probably would have been the last one. I don't know. They were really good with age, actually, that company. They didn't really toss us out with age, but I still felt that it was time to transition.
And to do it on your terms.
To do it on my terms and not, panicked or trying to figure out and, it was very strategic.
You get people who have been abandoned, left, tossed out, as you say, and then you're scrambling, going like, okay, what next? And grabbing onto something, the wrong thing.
Exactly. Or being nervous about the new one coming behind you.
Yeah.
Young models, I would mentor them and talk to them and tell them about the pitfalls. But that's because I had a plan. So I wasn't threatened by them. I was excited by them because I'm like, bursted open these doors as a Black woman, and you're about to come in and you're about to walk in. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be a little bit easier because of what I did.
And I think
because I had a plan. It was easy to
such a good example of exactly that. It's not just about smashing, those glass ceilings. It's about opening a door and holding it open for the person behind you.
Exactly.
And I'm a really firm believer that, you can't be it until you see it. And for you, just an incredible example of that, of being held up as someone who's not, quote, just a model, but someone who, as you say, an entrepreneur, someone who's giving us kind of hope to now. So let's talk about entrepreneurship. Okay, could you imagine 20 years ago that you'd be in Dubai talking about, having the most incredible ice cream?
All of it just sounds crazy.
I know, right?
That all sounds just like some fantasy weird
like a
thing.
Dream.
In Dubai, on your radio show, talking about having an ice cream company that we're launching here. No. Absolutely crazy.
So where did the idea come from and when?
I was going to do an ice cream company 17 years ago. I had a business plan. I had partners. There was a very, they were kind of new, a gelato company that was run by a family. And we had partnered, and I was going to go. But at the same time, I was going to start a chat show, my own talk show called the Tyra Show, whatever the hell we were calling it back then. And I knew, talking about business, that you cannot start two businesses at the same time and expect for them to be successful. They will probably both fail, because talk shows, the first year, 90% of them fail. Second year, I think 80%. I don't know, there's some crazy statistics of failure. And so I knew that I couldn't do both. So I put that business plan on a shelf, moved out of my nice house in Beverly Hills, moved across the street to my talk show and kind of, nice apartments, very simple apartments, to be across the street, because I knew that I had a high chance of failure, particularly coming from the fashion industry and the stereotypes of being a model. But now I want people to listen to what I have to say every single day. And so
you went all in.
I went all in. Yeah.
And now, fast forward 17 years, that dream has become a reality. Can I ask why ice cream, Tyra?
It's such a passion. Like, there's so much that goes back to
passion.
It is. I'm obsessed. Our family's obsessed, to be honest.
Really?
It's a serious obsession. And it started with my mother. So my mother was a single mom, divorced from my dad when I was 6. And we moved from a 3-bedroom, beautiful house in Inglewood, California, to a small 1-bedroom apartment. And my mom started sleeping on the floor in the living room. My brother and I slept in the bedroom. And on that first night when my mom tucked us in, she said, in 1 year, we're going to have a 2-bedroom. I'm not going to be sleeping on the floor or even on a couch in a year. And in 1 year, we had a 2-bedroom. First night in that 2-bedroom apartment, she said, in 1 year, we're going to have a 3-bedroom. And she said, to get there, it's going to take a whole lot more work than it took me to get this 2-bedroom. So she would come home after work, put some pot pies in the oven for my brother and I, and go back to her second job and her third job. And in 1 year, we had a 3-bedroom. Then she said, after years and years, we're going to go from a 3-bedroom rental, and I'm going to buy a house. We never got there because I became a successful model and bought a house for my family instead. But
wow.
Yeah, that was her
work
dream.
Ethic.
And I know it would have happened. If I wasn't some model, I know my mom would have bought
How
a
important
house
was
for
it
our
to
family.
you to see, not that you've got any point of comparison, because my goodness, how lucky you to have that as a role model, but how important was it to see your mum out working for you, achieving for you, and showing you?
Yes. How she went about it was so beautiful, because she explained it to my brother and I. And the reason why ice cream is so important to me is every Friday night was the time when she was like, this is the week where I can now spend time with you, this weekday that I can spend time with you. So she would talk to me about her week. She would talk about the trials, the tribulations, the challenges, her dreams. Then she would talk about my dreams. She would talk about haters, naysayers, obstacles, and things that get in the way. And she would kind of challenge me in the car. So if they say this, what you gonna do? If they say this, what you gonna do? And this went for years. This even went from when I started modeling when I was in high school, about naysayers and challenges, or being a Black model and not being able to get the opportunities that other models were getting. So, and it was always over ice cream, Friday night.
So biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
I think we often forget that, and so much has been made of this, food is fuel, we need to take the emotion away from it, but we often forget that food is this meeting point for celebration and communication, and, whether that's kind of cross-culture or cross-generation, and it has got that celebratory feel.
Yes.
I want to talk flavors, Tyra. What have you brought to brunch and cake?
Oh my gosh, brunch and cake flavors. So we have one flavor that is very good. It's like a grandma home-style churn taste. It's called not chocolate.
Is there chocolate in it? Please tell me there's chocolate
Not
in
chocolate means what?
I don't know. You.
Yes,
Okay.
we have a flavor called butter pecan, but better. Because whenever people think butter pecan, at least in the United States, they think like grandmama flavor. But this is like, it has something called caramel butter in it and roasted pecans. Woo, it's my favorite. Then we have something called purple cookie monster and me. It's naturally colored cookies and cream.
Ooh.
A naturally colored purple cookies and cream colored with black carrot, which gives it very natural
So you're saying
purple
it's
hue.
healthy?
It's natural, girl. And, you know, to me, ice cream it's all about moderation. Our family does not consume it in moderation. I'll be totally honest. We eat ice cream almost every day. Passion, benchmarking, traveling the world, trying different ice cream.
It's career now.
But we also
Gotta
have
go
like
all
a
in.
non-dairy version, you know.
I heard you've got an ice cream scientist.
Yes, we have an ice cream scientist. Her name is Dr. Maya Warren.
What a job. What a job.
Right? She has a doctorate in food science with a focus on ice cream.
Tyra, what I'm getting from this is, and I don't mean this to disrespect any celebrities or names, but there does seem to be a bit of a movement, and we've seen it with perfumes and restaurants and all sorts of different kind of products, about it just being a name, about someone attaching the name to a scent or a place, and people will come and they'll have a talk and they'll, you know, you sound like you are so in this and hands-on. I mean, you've got the history there, 17 years of wanting to do this. Has this kind of consumed your life, and how busy is it keeping you?
It consumes my life. I try to not call myself the CEO of the company because I want to leave that spot open to get a very strong CEO from a consumer packaged goods company. Hint, hint, anybody out there in UAE that want to do it? But my partner always says, Tyra, you are the CEO. And, you know, wear that proudly, but the marketing side of me says, let's still leave that open over there. But from strategy to marketing to I don't know. I don't even know. I'm so jet lagged. I don't even know what to say. But every single branding to global markets, I am at the forefront of that. And sometimes when people say hands-on, to me it means like you're standing over here and your hands are touching it, and over here, no, my body's in it every single day. And I'm so excited by it. It doesn't make me tired.
Hey, isn't that the thing, you know? Do something you love, don't work a day in your life.
I love it.
Can I ask why Dubai?
Oh my gosh. So, well, first of all, we have some family, like some in the GCC that we kind of like, you know, visit and stuff. Yeah, so they're very kind. They've lived at our house last summer during COVID. So we have like a connection here, but I didn't have a business connection. Our CFO and my partner has a history in the airline industry, and he has done a lot of business with different airlines and some of the UAE. And he was like some of his best customers were Arabic Airlines.
I want first class Emirates. You get your SMiZE and Dream.
Yeah, so we have our ice cream on some airlines right now. Awesome. Our first one was in the GCC, so that really has kind of solidified us here. And then I just love it here. My family has been here. My mom, my son, my man. We spent like a month between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we love it. And from my mama, who doesn't want to go nowhere, she's like, I can spend a little time here. You know, so we're looking at apartments and stuff to spend some more time here to really focus this as our first international location. And also, something that I keep seeing that I don't think people really know back home in the United States is how many women are like doing their thing.
Oh yeah.
So
it's a hot spot.
But we don't see that at home and don't see that reflection of what's going on here. I remember the first meeting I had at the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. I walked in the room and I was like, this is like 10 women and you guys are all executives. Yesterday I did MBC and they opened the door for me to look at the control room, you know, the director and all the people, all women. Yes. I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
Makes me so happy that that's been your experience.
Yeah, it's my experience. But, you know, even though you see those women, there still needs to be more. And so that's part of my mission. And that's part of the mission for SMiZE and Dream is to make people's dreams come true, particularly women, children, and particularly for people that feel like they're too young or too old to do something. I want to show them that that's not the case.
That's
if they have the focus.
Really interesting, because on the show today we are talking about midlife changes. And it has been kind of proven that you've got more chance of being happier for longer if you have a bit of a career change or a pivot in your 30s, 40s, 50s. And I think this is so interesting because we're living a lot longer now.
Yes.
It's not the case where, I don't know, if looking at a different industry, say you go to university to be an accountant and then you're an accountant from your 20 until you're 60 and then you die. No. You there's so many more opportunities now. We've got a different mentality when it comes to career. So, why not move to a different country? Why not retrain? Why not start an ice cream business? And I think it's really important to see people doing that. And I'm so glad that you've had that experience of the UAE so far about seeing women as, oh my goodness, thought leaders, change makers, disruptors. Totally. And we also have a sweet tooth here. Big time.
Oh, well, get your butt to SMiZE and Dream.
Yeah, well, Brunch and Cake is very close to my house. It's the most beautiful.
Which one is close to your house?
Al Wasl.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. I had my birthday breakfast there. It's Instagram perfection.
Yes.
I want to quickly go back because I understand there's a bit of a digging element to this.
Yes.
Tell us more. And why is this connecting with your kind of philosophy for the brand and equally for life as well?
So, for me, I teach personal branding at Stanford's Business School in Northern California. I haven't done it in a couple of years because of COVID. But one of the first things I teach my students is different is better than better. And so whether it's a product, it's a service, or your personal brand, whatever it is, look to your competitors, and what are they doing? And try to do something different, not just better. And so for me, when I created this ice cream company, yes, it's super premium ice cream, it's a good quality milk, all of that. But the differentiator is that in every serving, there's something we call a SMiZE prize, which is a chunkalicious gourmet truffle chunk that is a cookie dough base that you have to dig to find. And so it represents digging for your dreams.
I love this.
Yeah. And so, so when you come to the shops, all the different brunch and cake shops, and you get your SMiZE cream ice cream, it starts with your SMiZE prize. So you choose that first. There's 5 different flavors. And one.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite is that caramel one, a caramel cookie dough. But guess what? The kids, I think, are going to love a bubble gum. We have a bubble gum cookie dough SMiZE prize.
I can tell just from looking at you and hearing you talk about this, this is not the end. Dubai is not, the end of the road. Are you looking at, I don't want to say global domination, but global domination, Tyra Banks?
Global saturation, let's put it that. Yes. So we're looking at, we already are producing in different countries. We are, there's some Asia happening. There's some down under going on. There's some.
Now, the interesting thing is, 17 years ago, social media, not a thing.
Yeah.
Now we're an opportunity where entrepreneurs, whether it's someone who has a name, doesn't have a name, has budget, doesn't have a budget, can launch their platform, connect with people online. How are you finding social for you personally and also professionally?
I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I think there's so much pressure to keep posting and to keep posting. And if you don't post enough, then the engagement on your thing is not going to go, and then also being a woman and they'll say, Tyra, we need you to do a video for X. And I'm like, I can't just roll out the bed. I got to put on my hair. I got to put on my face. I got to, do that whole thing. There's just so much pressure. And I look at young people, particularly young women today on social and how much pressure they have. Because I remember back in my day being a fashion model and them saying that fashion models projected an image that was so difficult to live up to, which was true. But you can put the magazine down and put it in a drawer. Now it's in your hands. It's in your hands, and it's not some fashion model that who the hell is Juvenka or Tyra Banks. This is your next door neighbor. This is the girl in your school that's getting more likes, or this. There's just so much pressure at the same time. On the positive side, social is a positive thing. It's democratizing.
Yeah, connection.
Everybody has the opportunity to expand their reach and to correct wrongs that are said about them, or to build their businesses. So there's a love-hate that I have there.
I love that you represent yourself though so well in terms of here I am looking like you're looking today. But also here I am.
Oh, I do show the raw sometimes.
And you saw exactly,
yes.
And I think that's important for everybody.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you're talking about business struggles, business building, and showing that honesty because, from talking about your mum being, that support from day one to today as a grandmother, to your own dreams, I think it's incredible. Last question, Tyra Banks, for any aspiring entrepreneurs out there, and as you say, whether you are in high school, fresh out of high school, a grad, or someone in their 40s, 50s, what do you think you need to live by in order to make your dreams come true?
I think for the entrepreneurs out there, I'm going to give you super rough, raw, real advice. there's a 90% chance that your idea, business, service will fail. And that is okay. Because when it fails, it means that you have so much knowledge for what not to do or what to do for the next amazing idea that you have. And if you're trying to raise money, oftentimes people that want to give you money want to see what experience have you had, whether it's a win or a loss. They'd rather that than nothing, because it shows, okay, you lost on somebody else's dime, you're not going to lose on mine because you've learned. So if the business goes under, it's not the end of the world, because you're an entrepreneur, which means you're full of ideas.
And it just teaches you how to succeed better next time.
Yes.
Tyra Banks, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
We have got SMiZE and Dream in Dubai as of this weekend in Brunch and Cake, bringing a sweet taste. And I'm definitely going to try some
Yes, there's 4
right
locations
now.
of Brunch and Cake, so y'all go to the
Go
ones close
out
to
there.
you.
Go out there, enjoy yourselves. But it's a pleasure to have you with us. And yeah,
Thank you.
next up the world.
Thank you. Thank you.